So as Butch mentioned, Beta started over 25 years ago, and it was a great contributor to the community. A lot of great results took place through that life cycle of the previous iteration of Beta. Now we've moved on, changed it to a 501c3 organization to be a more effective, next one please, Kurt, to be a more effective catalyst to achieve the objectives and the goals that were set forth through the community involvement over these various committees over the last 3 years. So the vision, we've put a strategic plan together that's got a vision and a mission statement, and you'll see that in the brochure underneath most of your plates. But really we had to find a slogan, a vision statement that really put it into perspective what we're trying to do here. Because everybody loves Bellevue. Some people want Bellevue to change, some people want Bellevue to stay the same. But I think we all want the best qualities of Bellevue to stay the same, and we want to take Bellevue forward to the future to ensure that Bellevue is a great place for us to live, retire, raise our families going forward. So that vision is preserving traditions, creating our future, keeping what's great about Bellevue great, and taking us to the next level. So the transformation took place over about the last year. A lot of work behind the scenes, a lot of folks put in a lot of hours, nights and weekends, getting the transition to take place, getting all the T's crossed and the I's dotted, and then taking us to where we are today. We've already talked about the teams, so we're going to jump right past that bullet. And we found this quote that kind of epitomizes what we're doing here and what Bellevue is all about. And I think this was exemplified tonight with some of the awards that were given out. Individual commitment to a group effort. That is what makes a team work, a company work, a society work, a civilization work. That was the great Vince Lombardi, and I know most of you in here are Packer fans, so that really resonates. So some of the things the community has done leading up to this. First and foremost, we want to talk about the fiber optic network. That's been a bit of a controversial topic lately, but we're going to demonstrate a little later on why that was a very forward-thinking thing for our community leaders to do. It positions us very well to leverage a lot of potential opportunities that come our way. It's really the future. It's bringing Bellevue into the digital age and opening doors that otherwise would be closed. We've got the sidewalk improvement project that took place the year before last. The dock initiative, which is ongoing, a lot of folks put a lot of work into that, partnering with the dock committee and Water Street partners, and it looks like we're at some point in the not too distant future here, we're going to have some docks downtown that will really be a great asset to the community. Some retail response. There was a couple of retail surveys over the last few years that were privately funded because there was not a 501c3 vehicle to raise this money. Some community folks in the community stepped up, sent out this survey, and as a result of that survey, some of the local businesses made some changes, and we'll show some examples of that. And finally, we can't forget the architectural renewal. Again, Water Street Partners, Jim Long, and a lot of other folks in the community are doing a lot to improve and maintain the great architectural assets that Bellevue has. That's correct. So this is some examples of preliminary drawings for the dock project in conjunction what Water Street Partners is doing with the Button Factory. Next one, Kurt. There's another angle. And we're going to roll through these pretty quick. We just want to really give you some visuals on the things that have taken place because it's easy to forget that there is so much energy already within the community that has been spurring the positive developments that we're seeing. The retail response, that's an example of vendors expanding their store based on the feedback from the community. Lampy's expanding their store, again, based on the feedback from the community. Another example of the architectural improvements. And that takes us to Beta's goals. So Beta, again, we had all these groups together, we had all these good ideas that the community wanted to push forward, but we had no vehicle to fund that, and we had no vehicle to gather the funds to take these things forward. So our goals for Beta are, number one, support and retain the current businesses and attract new businesses. The next goal is to increase Bellevue's population by 25 families in the next 3 years. I want to add that this initial campaign for Beta is a 3-year campaign, and that will be basically a decision point. We will have achieved significant objectives at the end of 3 years, and towards the end of that process, we will reevaluate, see where we've been, and decide on how to adjust that strategic plan to continue to move forward. Increase living wage opportunities in Bellevue by 50 over that period of time. So we want to create 50 jobs that people can take within Bellevue that they can afford to live on. So we're not talking about very low wage jobs. We're talking about professional type jobs that people can actually live and work and stay in Bellevue without having to drive 25 or 50 or 100 miles. Finally, it kind of goes without saying, we want to increase the tourism traffic in Bellevue. Tourism it's kind of a chicken or the egg thing. If we have tourism, we have more people coming and seeing the town. If we've got more people coming and seeing Bellevue, we'll get more tourists. And then finally, we want to increase our retail businesses in Bellevue, their retail revenue, by 5% or more per year. All of those things will work together to help achieve all of those goals in a synergistic fashion. So the current initiatives: attract new businesses. We have currently a business that is ready to relocate to Bellevue and bring 25 living wage jobs to Bellevue. All we need to do is find the right location for them to move into. So this company has given us a verbal commitment that as soon as they find the right spot, the things are worked out, they're going to move to Bellevue. Another thing that we're doing, we have about 5 to 6 economic development leads that come in every month, and we're following up on those leads in a systematic fashion. We've got the personnel in place and the systems in place to follow up on those leads and present what is the best of Bellevue, what the assets are of Bellevue to attract those businesses to Bellevue. We want to continue to build the Bellevue brand, get the word out about Bellevue, what are the great things about it, why you'd want to visit Bellevue, live in Bellevue, relocate your business to Bellevue. That'll be a big part of this initiative. One more. Google has announced the Fiber for Communities request for information. So if you're familiar with the internet, you're familiar with Google. It's a multi-billion-dollar company. It's everywhere on the web. And what Google wants to do is create a next-generation internet service provider. An internet service provider that will bring speeds 100 times greater than we currently can get at any home in the country right now. So they've asked for this request for information to come from cities and from other interested parties within the community. So Beta is working with the city to complete this request for information and submit it to Google on why Bellevue is the right location for them to start.